Om Shanti. Welcome to Awake the Journey. So today's chit chat is very special. Awake the Parivar chit chat, sweet conversation that overflow with insights and inspirations. So today's chit chat, we have a special topic for that, and it's leading with silence, simplicity, and surrender. So it's a beautiful topic, and I'm sure everyone will enjoy. So I would like to invite our dear brother, Angel, Eric Bhai. So welcome.
Shanti everyone, and loving greetings. Special greetings also Mohini Didi, and yeah, it seems we're meeting from one Zoom to another. So welcome back. We're zooming around, as we say. Very nice to be with you again and to continue a conversation that we started this morning. And for those who are, of course, in Avyakti Parivar and who will be listening later on, the little context is that there's at the moment this integrated retreat for all the CCs, NCs, NCTs, NTCs, of VIPs, everyone, all the TTs, no ITs on this one, but maybe all mighties, and the board members also, no boring, but board members are all allowed. And the theme for the retreat is very interesting, is leading with silence, simplicity, and surrender. And so the interview or the chit chat we had this morning with Mohini Didi and Didi Genti was really focusing on the connection with our stage and how to keep a stage strong, stable, even though we are very busy in Baba's service. And after the interview, I think Mohini Didi, you felt that we could have gone a little bit further. So I'm happy to go with you on that topic. And because it's a serious topic, I'll try not to have too many jokes tonight. But first of all, I've been playing with these three words: silence, simplicity, surrender. How would you put these words together? First of all, just like, for their meanings, what do you like about these three words together? I feel like it's almost giving you three notes to compose a song. How would you play with those three notes? How would you compose a song with three words: silence, simplicity, surrender? How do you like these words together?
Yeah, when there are less thoughts or there is silence, there is simplicity, right? Because it's only mind when it thinks a lot, then everything becomes complicated. We start thinking and it's lot is not necessary. And then it makes everything complicated. But also, okay, if that happens, it shouldn't, then just surrender it to Baba. As much we surrender to Baba in the sense of, okay, we offer to Baba. Many times it happens like, I have done something and later I feel it should have been done in another way. I just remember Baba, have good wishes, and I find it works fine, so everything gets sorted out. So I really like this theme, and especially coordination, right? Whether it is center coordination or countries coordination or regional coordination, whatever coordination is there, it always requires, certain ways, certain skills. As much really we use silence for two reasons. One, I find these days, there was a time that sentence used to be like 2-3 sentences, one sentence. These days they say short sentence, right? Then paragraph used to be like half a page. And now paragraphs are 2-3 lines, right? Have you noticed that? And so what I'm finding, because they want it to be understood properly, in the sense of, that is where I think that silence is kind of as much possible, wherever possible.
Since you're going to take a little break, I can actually confirm. For me, you taught me this aspect of size of paragraph many, many years ago, and you probably don't remember. But I had to write a letter to respond to someone with fairly, intense issue, as we say. And so the letter I wrote was okay, but I wrote, many, many lines, many points. And then you wrote the letter and you said, yeah, letter is very, very good. But do you think the person will be able to understand if you don't separate your paragraphs a little bit more? And then just that simplicity, that clarity you had, and just such a simple, practical aspect that even when sharing an email, it should be, short paragraphs so that people can swallow. So yeah, so it can be a serious issue, but no tissues afterwards, no crying. So that was very helpful method you showed me. So I confirm you told me how to split my paragraph and keep them short. And that was many years ago. So I confirm.
I don't remember that, but
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
so silence is like our thinking, and as many times possible and necessary, use full stop. Instead of continuing, you just, okay, drama, it happened, any kind of full stop, and then you rethink. You still think. It's not you not thinking. So what I do, that whenever I find that thinking is not, it's just going on, it's not really clear or necessary, I just use full stop. But also what I find, that we need to recharge ourselves a lot. And silence is the way to recharge, in the sense of, just want to be calm, just want to be peaceful, have more clarity or concentration. One of the way is to observe silence, and it's a very deep silence. So some are like, spiritually, when I'm in silence, I could, like recently I realized that really to listen to Baba, you need true silence. If your mind is chatting, how will you know what Baba is saying? So this nature of, we have to keep creating during day, pause many times during day, recharge yourself. And so as much we do that, then, I want to listen to Baba, you know, what is the future, what direction you have for us, what's the Shrimad for us. And I realized that it does work, because they wanted me to have message for this retreat, and nobody is in front of me, right? And I am telling Baba, I want message for, and it's after so many days retreat has to happen. But anyway, I went Baba and said, they all are my arms. And when you will hear Murli tomorrow, Baba is looking at us, his arms, and cooperative. So I was surprised that how does it happen that there is Bhog message, Murli is like that tomorrow. And so what he meant is that you don't have to do anything. Baba will do, the hands will operate in a natural way. So sometimes, like, it is both ways to be authentic, honest with, that is Baba is, I'm hearing from Baba. It's not just my own intellect. And then when something comes in Murli, then I internally feel that, wow, that is good, what was in message Baba is saying in the Murli. And I just read Murli this morning in Hindi. So I think that for all instruments, there will be a lot of deep contentment if they keep observing, increasing their mind to a kind of silent mind. Because discontent is not coming from, I have to do lot and how to do it, but we are not internally practicing what is important, is observance of silence many times. Anything you are not clear, just remain quiet and don't think about it. And after some time, you again sit, remember Baba, start, you will get good answers. So I think that silence is very important for all the coordinators. So you
Yes.
feel that you are leading in the sense of, it's from Baba and you are following directions and you are helping others to do same.
In the context of those three words, silence, simplicity, surrender, what is your vision of leadership? Or what is true leadership in that context?
See, something had been um, checked properly, thoroughly. The directions are clear because what leader need is clear directions. And because you yourself leading your life with those directions, then it becomes very easy to help others, to cooperate others. Because then you are simple, That is one thing in today's world. Yes, when you are simple, like you talk for a while, many people say it was deep but very simple, so we could understand. So I think our thinking, our speaking, our way of living, our communication, everything can be simple. And when it is simple, I think it's understood more. And but then there are some people who are very intellectual, right? So they like to make it. I was telling someone this morning that when I read your letter, it's so nice and it's like you preparing ourselves, but exactly what you want comes in the end. And by that time, sometimes our attention is diverted. So you don't read what is the bottom part because you were kind of lost into. So when it's business letter, just write it. We don't need to sugarcoat it and create love relationships. Somewhere I think that we mix it, So sometimes it's something simple but becomes very complex. Sometimes I feel people are not very careful in reading directions when they come from anywhere. But then we have to keep finding the ways how to make it like it's just direct, it's to the point, and not, because first paragraph is always like a fancy kind of, as if we are requesting, if we are, well, just say for our benefit, these are the 3 points. So I think that somewhere, to be plain, to be straight, simple, I think that that could also be very helpful in guiding others. Because
How do you make sure that you're not? I understand the point; it's good, and I think I put too much sugar coating myself. But how do you keep it straight without being dry? Or
no, it's see, there are two things, Either you write first whatever loving, all that, and then write 1, 2, 3. But if you make that as part of another paragraph, somewhere you have to underline it or do it. See, how I will see leadership or leading or for anything is how much you are understood, right? That is why you know that in management, they always say, not they say that, did you understand? They will say, did I make it clear? So that's the way management begins, right? In management leadership courses, first thing they tell you, you ask them, did I make it clear what I am saying? So understanding is also a very important part in leading. And for that, we have to do little homework, for our own selves. And then, of course, now where surrender comes in that is, you know, when you will listen morely tomorrow, Baba says, well, even if you have done something which you don't think is perfect, but that also you let go or just give to Baba. Don't think much about it. And also surrender is where I'm saying that Baba, it's your task, right? I am just the instrument. And I will try my best to play my part. So I am kind of internally surrendering to Baba. How I see surrendering is that, Baba, I am just playing my part. And I think that the inspiration comes from when you are consistent and when they don't see that every little thing upsets you or you get discouraged or disappointed. But courage is important, consistent, firm faith is important. So I think all these qualities definitely help a lot.
And then if I can ask it that way, but what do you see as not simple and not surrendering? What do you see sometimes as being, because I think most of us, we think sometimes that we are surrendered or we did surrender, and and the way you're presenting it is very subtle and deep at the same time. But what do you see as, what do we make complicated and what do we not surrender, do you think?
See, when you are surrender, you feel that I have to do good efforts and become worthy and let Baba make me instrument for service. But if this complaint certainly remains that my specialties are not being recognized and I can give knowledge in a very beautiful way and it's not being accepted, like you always feel somewhere that you are not accepted, you are not recognized, you are not valued, your worth is not understood. So deeply within you haven't surrendered. Like for me, honestly, when I came to Baba, it's just a girl living at home, very simple, always wanted to be in home. And here, Baba, you come out, you go here, there. Baba, no, I don't like to travel, be in public. Child, you have to do it. Baba will give you this facility, that facility. And today, when I think of, some of the places I went, I was talking about, Sister Jyoti was inviting me that twice when I went to Dubai, I stay with three brothers and I was alone. They had 4 rooms, they gave me one. But I was so enthusiastic to do something in Arabian countries and Muslim countries. And I will go and give talks and, so I feel that, I don't know, it's Baba, no? Baba makes us do all that courage, that initiative. But if I think I did it, I'm not surrendered, right? So surrender and then be instrument. I think
And
that works.
so back to the image of leadership, or we say leading, it's also, at the same time, we're always following Brahma Baba in his footsteps. What is your motivation in leadership? And are you aware of your leadership?
I think that I just want to be very natural in my life always. But one time Dadi Prakashmani said, somebody asked me, Dadi, how you became number one? I said, I always thought I have to do it. Doesn't matter if anyone else does or not. I will come in time in class. I will come every day. I do what I have to do. And others will automatically are inspired, because one time we reached for a meeting and it was a meeting at a center in Delhi and Dadi was there. And Dadi had a broom in hand and she was, cleaning. And we said, oh, what happened? Dadi is our guest. Dadi said, oh, I saw it's getting late, so let me. So we were so inspired that she's not thinking, I am Dadi Prakashmani, how can I hold broom in my hand? So I think when we are natural as a karma yogi, we are natural in our conversation and our life, it inspires a lot of people that how can they be so simple, natural, and still be good leaders, So.
Do you feel sometimes that you have to be, fulfilling the responsibility of a leader and thinking, well, this is all Baba's yagya, and now you're actually not only you have to, but you got the key. Somebody just gave you the key of the house. So do you feel, but in a nice way, sometimes the inspiration that I have to honor Baba when he says, you have to reveal me. This is also leadership, isn't it?
Yeah, honestly, since 2, 3 days, I had been thinking, what can I offer more to Yagya? And which is not generally being offered, and everyone is doing lot of these days Zoom classes and so many program. And I'm not a person who really want to do that way. So I'm just kind of internally that, Baba, if you have given me a task, then I have to contribute something. So I had been really subtly, spiritually kind of going in depth to see that what more can I offer. And definitely what I found that our presence makes things different. And also, if you are internally peaceful, you are humble. And so some of the critical things can also be solved being simple, because people know that you're really trying to help Yagya. You don't have any intention for anything. So definitely I do reflect a lot on what can I contribute, you know, what role had been given, part has to be played, and what can I do? And then of course, whatever people say, I underline it and say, yes, that's the need, that's what they need. And I try to, inculcate and be embodiment of that. So when I am here, I am preparing all the time.
Just a few minutes left, but thinking again, of course, the whole big family is listening now, but in the context of all the brothers and sisters who are playing the role or playing the part of looking after centers, countries, boards, sometimes decisions are very important, in terms of financial, legal. With COVID, we knew that we had to make decisions that would have a big impact on the family. So how do you see the balance between surrendering in a way and saying, yeah, Baba, this is your task, but also leading and being the leader? How do we see the balance of not surrendering too much, but we have to also, be aware that my decision will impact other people? And so what is true leadership in that, with simplicity and silence and surrendering in that time?
No, surrender doesn't mean surrendered intellect, right? That means intellect is still, understanding the situation. Anyway, I find at the right time, I am able to help a lot in deciding, and kind of very clear vision come to me. So surrender doesn't mean I don't use my intellect, but surrendered intellect, surrendered mind. Because if intellect had been surrendered, but still it's working, right? So at least until now, wherever my uh, either role or part is, even in organization in USA, I kind of get a very clear vision of this is right to do, this should be done for everything, wherever it's necessary to decide, because that's the leading, no? Because what you decide. So I think surrender intellect really works very well. So some people think surrender means don't think. Surrender means don't decide. But actually you are surrender and then now decide as a trustee or whatever, as an instrument, right?
But would
But
you say the
also,
foundation maybe is silence remaining maybe the first strongest foundation to be able to have the intellect in that subtle functioning? Maybe sometimes maybe it's silence which is missing.
this, once we had to reach for a program in Manhattan at UN, and we were given chance to ring peace bell. It was Peace Day, September 21st. Jagdish Bhai was there. So the traffic in Manhattan from Long Island. sometimes you could, so Jagdish Bhai, told us that King Alexander lost battle because he was few minutes delay. So what he did is that few blocks before reaching UN, there were a lot of traffic, no way cards, especially General Assemblies on. So there are a lot of means all lot of countries, representatives are there, presidents are there. So he came off the car, few blocks, and he walked. And he said, I will make it. So he asked any other sister, I think two, three of us, we walked from there and we made it just half a minute before and we could still ring the bell. So I think it's like, if you are in silence and if you, like you get a right thought to do, you have to do it, get it done. And it was really, I don't forget that event, that you to be in time to do what you were able to do. I think these little things all are how you decide, how you think. So
And then we
intellect
can.
has, what I'm saying, that intellect has to be used, but
Hmm.
within the quality of intellect is surrendered intellect.
I think we can discuss it another half hour, but maybe next time. I'll close with one thing you taught me many years ago, which I've been quoting you many times, and it's a beautiful aspect. And when leadership is also about inspiring others to behave properly and do the right thing. I was asking you many questions about what should I do, and they're not changing and they're not doing what I'm telling them to do. And you told me, Eric, just be light, be with the light, and those who see the light, they will follow you. And I thought that was really good. And I've been quoting you many times. Just be light and go. And then whoever sees it, they will come. Don't worry. And I felt that was so liberating. But the responsibility was for me to be light first. So thank you for teaching me this many years ago.
Anyway, you made it, right?
Yeah. I keep remembering it many times. Yeah, just be with the light. Go ahead, and those who see it, they will come anyway. Don't worry. Thank you again very much. I'm happy that we could come back on that subject a little bit more. And now all the CCs and CNCTs and CTTs and TCCs will all get Tollies.
It's a very nice story. Looks very beautiful. Fresh, right? It's a cookie, right? Chocolate and
Is there
because
some message in the cookie? No.
we
Is the
have
blessing? The blessing is in the cookie.
there is the first weekend. This weekend is a Madhuban experience retreat. So we are doing two because Lord haven't gone to Madhuban, say, haven't come out of places. So for a while we are still open. So it's a quite good number has come. So they all are also sitting and listening. Anyway, thank you very
Thank you.
much.
Thank you. Good night, Mohini Didi.
Good night. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.